Hey there, friends and enemies, Joper here again, and if you know anything about me, you know I'm incredibly hyped about Armored Core 6, so I'm going to be checking out every single piece of information that we get coming out about the game from now until launch, because I can't play it yet, and I am itching to get more info. So, this is from Gamespot, everything you need to know about Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. Let's see what it's all about.
After spending most of the 2010s and early
FromSoft is absolutely crushing it, by the way.
From Software is headed to outer space as it revives the Armored Core series.
Oh, I'm so stoked.
After almost a decade of inaction, Armored Core is coming back with a new chapter in the franchise that revisits what made it so popular during the PS2 and PS3.
I feel like it's the perfect time for Armored Core, by the way.
Experience with From Software's signature blend of challenging combat and highly customizable character builds.
The customization is going to be so good, I can already feel it.
6 Fires of Rubicon.
Yeah, this is going to be incredibly exciting. The boss fights are going to be epic. The customization.
Touched an Armored Core game before, fret not. While this latest entry will have some loose ties to the previous games, its story won't have required playing them to understand it. Armored Core.
That's actually very smart. The game, being 10-year gap between the last game and this next one, you want to have some teases and throwbacks for those veteran players, but also allow a lot of newer players who are trying to jump in the franchise for the first time to be able to do so without being held back by a story that is just too encircled by everything that it was instead of what it's going to be going forward. It's not a game that was just released like 3-4 years ago where everything can be replayed, can feel fun, kind of fresh, and all that kind of good stuff. So I think that's a good thing.
Core 6 revolves around the discovery of a mysterious substance known as coral that has the potential to upgrade humanity's technological.
Reminds me of The Walking Dead. Coral.
After an experiment reduced a part of the
oh, that's crazy.
Post-apocalyptic firestorm dubbed the
that firestorm looks sick.
That area of space is now known as the Burning Star System. The game takes place 50 years after this incident, with the player assuming control of an independent mercenary codenamed C4261.
I like the four-legged option for the
corporate armies.
Armored Core.
C4261 has been tasked with acquiring newly discovered coral on the planet Rubicon 3, while taking out any other Armored Core in their path.
Yeah, it's going to be lots of mech versus mech battles.
The first word on a 6th Armored Core, which would actually be the 16th installment.
Some of this looks absolutely sick.
Was in 2016, where From Software president Hidetaka Miyazaki mentioned in an interview that the game was in early development. 6 years later, in January 2022, a leaked focus test confirmed the existence of the game, which then debuted at the Game Awards that December.
Oh, I remember the hype of that out of nowhere.
On some of the studio's most popular games, such as Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring, initially led development on Armored Core 6. However, once its gameplay design was locked in sometime in 2018,
that boss looks epic, by the way. I want to fight it so bad.
Yamamura, the main combat designer for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Okay.
Game's producer
the combat in that game is excellent, so
development on the title has taken so long due to From Software's focus on its other releases.
That makes sense. But knowing they got Elden Ring last year from the studio and now Armored Core 6 this year is pretty crazy.
Game that predominantly has you striking down
the verticality looks awesome.
Attacks. Don't expect this game to be mech-flavored Soulsborne, as Miyazaki told fans to expect a sequel that emphasizes what makes Armored Core special instead. According to Miyazaki,
the customization, baby. How long are you spending in this screen?
Core, including the idea of assembling your mech and customizing your titular Armored Core. Miyazaki added that being able to customize your mech down to each individual part will be, quote, more liberating when compared to merely swapping out armor or equipment.
Yeah, people are getting their spreadsheets ready already.
While there are, quote, no elements directly referring to Sekiro in Armored Core 6's gameplay, he did add that both games share the same, quote, essence of battle, such as aggressive and high-speed action.
That's going to be awesome.
Other recent
the bosses.
However, Armored Core will feature iconic boss battles,
yeah,
which Yamamura described as a highlight of the game, and engaging in them requires you to read enemy moves and adapt to their attacks. Armored Core 6's customization,
just the movement around the level, verticality, all that looks absolutely sick.
To outfit your mech with the right hardware to help bring down these technological titans. Don't
Oof.
expect to be exploring one gigantic sandbox in the same vein as the lands between from Elden Ring, as Armored Core 6 is sticking to the mission-based design that its predecessors used.
This might be a hot take. I know they said the game is going to be around 50 to 60 hours. I'm kind of glad it's not open world. There's going to be more of a focus there, and also you're going to go between customizing your mech, go to a mission, go back, recustomize your mech, add some new things, and then go to the next mission, and so on and so forth. I like that more linear path with a game like this. Well, it looks like you can use the verticality, you can move around the different levels quite a bit. I don't think an open world mech game is necessarily what I would want from Armored Core specifically because of the lack of focus at times. Elden Ring is fantastic, but the fact that you can not do the main part of the campaign for a long period of time when and miss out in Armored Core, you'd miss out on a lot of the potential upgrades, would be a bit of a bummer. So I'm glad it's a little bit more mission focused. It feels more like what the in-universe explanation would be for a game like this as well. So it kind of keeps me locked in.
Miyazaki explained that the decision to use a mission-based structure was decided upon as a way to emphasize the high level of customization that players will have available to them, and helps the world of Rubicon avoid feeling like a sci-fi Souls-like.
That makes sense.
Are also far more vertical than previous entries.
Yeah, it looks sick.
A bigger range of movement, smartly traversing a level's terrain, using it to your advantage against your enemies, will play a large role in being successful in the game. If you do take damage, another Souls-like inspiration the team has implemented is starting a level with 3 health boosts.
Interesting.
Previous entries allowed you to heal up mid-mission. This game's health boosts will act like flasks in other more recent From
I want to make a melee Armored Core, by the way.
Get them back till you hit and restart at a checkpoint. Each level will also have a degree
Oh,
of
that's going to be
freedom
interesting for sure.
Universal, with the choices that you make in the hangar influencing how you move across these levels. This more singular design also means that From Software can leverage new technologies to make each mech look more detailed and unique.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Earlier this year, Dave Klein stated that the game's movement felt more akin to Armored Core 4, and that you'd be able to, quote, easily use boosters to dash, jump, and fly around, throwing out a barrage of missiles. Certain mech types can even hover above the ground without consuming energy.
Oh, I like all of that.
You experience with certain guns.
Oh, I can't wait to make my own Armored Core.
Similar to older Armored Core games, Armored Core 6 will have its very own versus mode, where players can take on each other.
That's going to be sweaty, let me tell you. It'll be super sweaty.
Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon arrives on August 25th for PS5,
Soon.
PS4, Xbox Series X and S.
Only about less than 2 weeks now.
Standard edition will be $60 on all platforms.
Good.
Ordering the game will net you an early unlock of one of the game's mechs, as well as a special customization for it. For $10 extra, you can pick up the Deluxe Edition, which comes with a digital art book and soundtrack. Armored Core 6's collectors and
that'll be a must-have for long-time fans of the franchise.
The next level, the $230 collector's edition is packed with some physical goodies. The standout being its 7.
That statue looks fire. I need it so bad.
Whopping $450
Oof.
premium edition.
Okay, that looks fire, but that's a lot of money.
Nearly doubling its height. And that's everything to know about Armored Core 6. We'll be posting more content about...
Yeah, so overall, this is a good video, a little primer of what to expect from Armored Core 6. I will chime in, though, that there's a couple things that I am most looking forward to. Obviously, the customization. I hope it's a little bit less of the spreadsheet simulator than we've seen in past games, but like a balance between the two to where you can jump in, you can design your build and everything, and just kind of see a clear path towards what you want to do. And if you really want to min-max, you can go that direction. But there's something for players who are spreadsheeters and there's ones that are who are not, because sometimes it's just fun to try out different builds and see what works for you. So I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to that. I think the mission based gameplay is going to be fascinating to see how open the different levels are. The customization is going to be fantastic as far as like not only designing your mech for the abilities and everything like that, the weapons, but also the appearance and everything like that, because we know fashion is the true end game in all video games, so that's obvious. And then, yeah, the boss fights look absolutely epic. They've teased a few of them now, so I'm really interested to see which ones are still held back and we haven't seen a hint of yet, because again, with 50 hours we're going to have a lot of bosses over the course of time. But overall, I'm excited. I think everything about this looks like it's going to be another From Software banger, and that has me incredibly excited. They've earned the benefit of the doubt with every game they've put out recently. Has been really, really solid or excellent, depending on which title it is. So I think of all the studios putting this out, I'm least worried about it being From Software, and it just has me incredibly hyped to jump back into a different type of game than we've gotten in quite some time. There hasn't been a true single-player mech game that I've been able to sink my teeth into in so long. It feels like it's just calling out to us. And knowing that as far as sci-fi games, we're getting this and Starfield almost back to back, essentially, is kind of crazy to think about. So there's really something for everybody, whether you want like a mech game, whether you want just a space exploration game, no matter what you want, there seems like there's something for everybody, and that is very, very exciting. Anyway, I can't wait to get hands on with this. Let me know what you guys think about Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. Is this a game that is top of your wish list? Are you really waiting to play? I know I am. I'm incredibly excited about it. My name is Joe. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Helps me out tremendously. Shows you want to see more Armored Core content from me going forward. I'm going to keep posting a bunch of preview videos and such as they pop up as we learn more things about the game. But then once the game does launch, I will have a lot of gameplay and guides and all that kind of stuff you'd come to expect from the channel. My name is JoPa. I hope you have a good one. I'll catch you all later.